Welcome back, dearies, to Sinfully Desilicious. Any guess on this month's theme? Next to my last week post Tirunelveli Sudhi comes this week Theni Kootusaru. Hope you have inferred the theme? Yes, it's Tamil Nadu district's native special, but with an interesting twist. They are districts which start with T. Sounds impressive, na? In Theni, Alai's cardamom city of Tamil Nadu, agriculture is their main source of economy. Farmers and the special village food become indispensable to their lifestyle. Kootusaru is one such recipe which is basically a farmer's food. They prepare this curry from the consumable greens which grow like weed on their farms. What is Kootusaru? Healthy greens cooked in water are combined with a ground masala prepared from soaked raw rice and dal with shallots, tomatoes, garlic and subtle spices. The strained greens are transformed into another dish called poriyal with a little onion, garlic and drizzled with grated coconut. These two dishes pair with rice balls or small millet balls which turn out to be an energy booster combo. This Kootusaru is also known as Kootu which is a very simple and handy but healthy combo for the diligent and hardworking farmers. You can basically use any greens available at your place. This recipe is vegan and highly nutritious as it's packed with nutrients of greens and power packed with energy as I combined it with ragi kali or mudde and along with keere or greens poriyal. Yes, you have a bonus of 2 more recipes. Before we start off with the Kootusaru recipe, we need to prepare the greens water. Clean and wash the greens. Boil 4 cups of water. To this, add the cleaned greens and cook it open in medium flame till the water reduces in half. It will roughly take 10 minutes to yield 2 to 2.5 cups of water. Strain this water, which we will be using for the Kootusaru recipe, and keep the greens aside to make keere poriyal, a dry sabji, later. Now let's move on to the recipe of Kootusaru. Here we are grinding the required masala for the Kootusaru from cumin seeds, fennel seeds, red chili, curry leaves, soaked dal and rice, along with shallots, garlic and tomatoes to a semi-coarse paste. Here, no water is required as tomatoes balance the water content required for grinding. Since this curry is subtle, don't increase the spices more than what I have mentioned. Also, we are adding raw shallots and garlic to the masala, so close and cook the curry to get rid of the raw smell. Once the masala grinding is done, the rest of the preparation for Kootusaru is so breezy. Heat a pan or kadai with gingerly oil, then temper with mustard seeds, split urad dal, cumin seeds and curry leaves. Once it splutters, add the strained green stock water, ground masala, required salt. Then add quarter to half cup of water if required to adjust the consistency. As I mentioned earlier, to get rid of the raw smell of the shallots and garlic added in the masala, close and cook for 5 to 7 minutes. After the given time, open the lid and check the salt and consistency of the curry. It shouldn't be too thick or too thin. Switch off the flame and garnish with coriander leaves. As I specified earlier, I'm going to prepare another recipe, keere poriyal, from the strained greens, which also serves as an accompaniment to the Kootusaru. As I mentioned earlier, you can use any greens from your place according to the availability and season. Here I used sessile joyweed, which is Ponangani or Kodupe keere in Tamil. There are many variations in keere or greens preparation, especially in Tamil Nadu, like masiyal, poriyal, kadayal and kootu. This method is based on the poriyal version. This keere poriyal is vegan and highly nutritious as it's packed with nutrients of greens. This recipe is very simple and quick and can be prepared in a jiffy as the greens are blanched well. It doesn't need any further cooking, just a stir is enough to combine everything together. As I promised you early, I'm going to prepare Kelvaragu or Ragi Kali, which is also known as finger millet in English. It's invariably used across Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Karnataka rural areas as a farmer's diet. It's a powerhouse of nutrients. It has an array of health benefits, such as it's vegan, gluten-free, a good source of non-dairy calcium. It also has a low glycemic index, rich in fiber, essential amino acids and antioxidants. It's also a powerhouse of iron. No wonder why it's a friendly recipe for farmers who do laborious work on day-to-day basis. It acts as an energy booster for them. It is also known as Ragi Mudda or Ragi Sankati in Andhra and Ragi Mudde in Karnataka. Here I have shown you two methods of preparation. Both are foolproof. You can follow whichever is convenient to you. Here in the first method, I have added samba wheat and salt, which is purely optional, but inclusion of it adds a defined taste and texture to the kali. Stir and beat vigorously and consistently 1 cup of ragi flour mixed in 2 cups of boiling water to form a uniform sticky mass, which will take roughly 5 minutes, and make sure no lump or uncooked flour is present. Parallelly boil 1 cup of water in another utensil, which we will be using it in 3 portions later. Now gradually add the first 1/3 cup of hot water, combine well to the flour, close and cook it for 2 minutes in completely low flame. Repeat the same procedure with the remaining 2 portions of 1/3 cup of hot water. After the last addition of hot water, then add 1 teaspoon of ghee. Mix well, it starts to solidify as a single mass. Here I used plant extract butter in the place of ghee to make it as a lactose intolerant or vegan diet. Now we are going to conduct the sticky test. Take a bowl of water, wet your 4 fingers completely and touch the solid mass. Nothing should stick to your fingers, not even a small crumb. Wetting your fingers properly is mandatory. This ensures your kali or mudde is cooked thoroughly. Grease a round deep bowl with ghee or vegan butter. Scoop a small portion of hot kali and start swirling it quickly and firmly, which shapes into a perfect ball within few seconds. Now we are entering to the second method of ragi kali preparation. In both the methods, sieve the ragi flour to ensure a smooth ball. I used store-bought. You can also prepare it at home from scratch with old ragi seeds or sprouted ones. In the first method, we added the raw flour to the hot boiling water. In the second method, we add a slurry of ragi flour to the hot boiling water. Prepare a slurry with 1 cup of kelvaragu or ragi flour with 3/4 cup of water. Here I am adding cooked rice in the second method. Adding samba wheat or cooked rice and salt is purely optional. You can skip adding it and directly add the flour or slurry according to the method you follow. Similarly, adding ghee or vegan butter too is optional, but adding them helps in achieving a glossy finish to the ball. You must have noticed that I am stirring and beating the ragi kali in both the methods vigorously and consistently. The first and foremost skill you need to prepare this porridge or kali is patience and good handwork. I am not kidding. Though the recipe sounds simple, the success lies in this technique. Stirring is pivotal, as failing it will result in an uncooked portion or lump which is not fit to consume, as it will end up in indigestion. One more important technique in making this kali is using the proper ladle. Here I used a flat wooden spatula which aids to break the lumps. In India, we have a special ladle which we call Tudupu in Tamil Nadu, Sankati Katta in Andhra and Mudde Kolu in Karnataka, which is a long, flat or cylindrical wooden spatula meant only for this preparation. Conducting a sticky test reconfirms that your kali is cooked well. Make sure you touch the kali only with your wet portion of your fingers, as it will tend to stick to the unwet portion. While making balls, kali has to be hot. You can wet your hands and make balls if you can tolerate the heat. You can serve this odd curry with Theni native special Kottu Saru and Kire Puriyal. You can also serve with Kongra chicken, Chindamani chicken, chicken Varutarachadu or Kori Gasi, whose recipes you can find in the website. Here I added another kitchen secret recipe with my leftover greens and leftover rice. I added little green chili and ginger to this and ground it coarsely, rolled into balls and flattened it as disc, later roasted it on tawa. Your instant savory rice greens pancake is ready. For more such interesting leftover kitchen secret recipes, visit my website Sinfully Desilicious. When I discovered cooking, I discovered myself. So can you.